Grand Rising. You know, it's like the weirdest thing, but I'll ask a question and it'll be presented to me. I continue to say it's weird, but it's like the most normal thing ever. Especially if you live this kind of lifestyle, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You present a question, and the question will be given, the answer will be given to you. So I actually made a short video yesterday, but I decided to delete it and just put it in this morning's segment. Okay, so I asked. I said, why is it that I don't have? How come I don't have any memories from further back? You know what I'm saying? Why does it start at Mary Magdalene and it actually doesn't, because I said I was a tree. That predates that. Uh, but the reason is because your DNA can only hold so much information. So I have like 1,000 years worth of information in my DNA, and anything that predates that, like Mesopotamia, Kemet, that is nearly 10,000 years ago. So I do not have that information in my DNA, and that is why I can't remember that far back, which is amazing. I don't, like, I asked the question and I hop on Google, and it says something about DNA was one of the articles that was up in the algorithm, right? So, yeah. And that's what it said. You hold about 1,000 years of DNA, and so that's, and actually, even with that 1,000 years, you still have more time, because you're still getting the memories of your ancestors from that predates that, but it's still you can trace the DNA. Okay, so just to be more exact here, you can trace the DNA up to 100,000 years. Okay, so but the memories that you would hold from the DNA would probably be closer to, like, I said 1,000 years, but it's like closer to 2,000 when you consider all the shit. Excuse me. Oh, God. I'm still very sleepy. I think we noticed every morning I'm still yawning like crazy, but I can't sleep anymore. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that, where like you sleep so much that you just can't sleep more, even though you're really tired, you know? Um, and I wake up pretty much around the same time every day. I've been up for a couple hours, but I went into a little fairy tale world. It wasn't, I mean, it's not a fairy tale for real, but for some reason I got into a loop about the Appalachians and uh the things that they see out there. Yeah. Their folklore, their haints, their not a deers, all the little things that they see out there. They talk about skinwalkers out there. Um, when when I was in New York, okay, I had a lot happen in New York. I had a lot of memories come back from New York. I had a lot of downloads come when I was in New York. New York was an interesting experience because I've been to New York twice. The first time that didn't happen. In fact, I went to New York. The videos I posted last night of me in 2019, that was like right around the time when I decided to pick up and go to New York. So when I was coming back from New York the second time, I had gotten a download about Native Americans, or, well, they're in Canada though. They're in Canada, and they're like their bloodline and the story behind how they came to be was literally from skinwalkers. A lot of people don't talk about it. In fact, the people that do talk about it aren't Native American or otherwise like indigenous, right? Because in indigenous culture, they do not talk about skinwalkers. But I found and it was I believe the name was Jimmy Brown. And so the individual that I saw, basically what they were, when I was in New York, basically what the download was is that that is how our ancestry is linked, is through an indigenous tribe that branched out, and it was originally, the folklore is that it was a woman and a skinwalker who had children, baby wolves. Yes, yes. I'm laughing, but I believe it. Okay, it's just when you I think when I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. That's what the laughing is for. It was a very uncomfortable download. Yeah, so that is what I got coming back from New York. That amongst the the healing and the reconciliation of my soul. Um, so that's first sec. That was during first reconciliation. Okay. Um, so I was real spooked when I came home. Coming back from Warsaw was like a really shocking, like how do I digest this? And not only that, I went straight to St. Mary's City, Maryland from Warsaw, right? So then seeing that as well, and then like sit in the basement, like what the fuck did I just, what was that? I had eagles following me around and shit. Then vultures. Oh, gosh, here comes the squirrel again. Every morning. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. A message. Yeah, so my morning segments. These are just to kind of like set the tone for my day, and like things to meditate on, right? So, um, or things that my brain must have been processing while I was sleeping, because that happens. Um, like I would go to sleep with a thought on my mind. What I found out too, high priestess, their sleep is very important. Their meditation is actually REM. Okay, so um, when all of this first started, I wasn't getting good sleep, and I was having trouble with downloads and things like that because I was not sleeping enough. I would hit REM, and in fact, um, what I also got was that I was being stalked in my sleep state, right? So there would be a long period of time where I would sleep, and as soon as I hit REM, I'd be back up because I could literally like smell the smell of Aaron's dad, or like it would wake me up. Um, the most common thing that I have, and I actually just had one the other night. Somebody is choking me, like trying to choke me out as I'm in my sleep. This happened the night before, okay, and it's scary. And this is actually what I've. Aaron will be with me wherever I'm at, but I can always hear them like walking through the grass. This is my this is the most common nightmare that I have. Okay, it's not a nightmare. I'm somewhere. We're astral traveling here. Okay, so I'm in some kind of like, it's like an outhouse or barn, something like that. And you can hear the person like rustling through the grass. Okay, they open the door and they snatch us up and they're choking us. And every single time, it's like I'm literally choking because when I wake up, and this is the only time that I ever feel this way. Okay, when I wake up, I can heavy labored breathing, like my heartbeat, like everything is just so weird. It's so weird. And several times I've had to wake Aaron up because he's gasping for air as well. And then the night before when this happened, his hand, he was actually in bed with me. His hand was on the back of my head. Very rare. Okay. So his hand was on the back of my head like he was, I don't know what he was doing, but I rolled over and I had to wake him up. We're both awake. This had been a recurring dream while I was in Brandywine. It was literally like somebody was fucking choking me out. Um, and the body response upon waking is just like, it's like the most terrifying thing. But it's not sleep paralysis or anything like that. Like I'm literally somewhere. I don't know where it and okay. And the other thing is when I wake up, what causes me to wake up is a whooshing sound in my ear, like a, so anybody who's left their body, they know what I'm talking about. It's when you re-enter your body. It's like, whoosh. It's like as if I traveled through water or something. Which I think that's what's happening when you travel. You're actually traveling through a fluid state, right? So I come back into my body. It's like whoosh, it's like a train or some shit. I can't explain the sound. I just know that it happens. It's happened to me when I'm wide awake, or maybe like daydreaming real hard, you know. And Aaron has expressed that sound too. There was one time I spanked Aaron, and I was real rough and aggressive, and I did not help him. This is when I determined that I need to, if I ever get physical with Aaron, you know, it happens. I'm someone who used to spank with a belt. So coming from that level and like now it's just my hand and working towards having less of those incidents, right? That, you know, you had to start, I had a starting point. So I don't see myself well, I do, because we've gotten very far. We've gone long stretches without that happening. It commonly happens when I'm just like overwhelmed, completely overwhelmed and stressed, right? But this is when I determined that I have to help Aaron get back into his body, okay? Um, I spanked him. I was real rude with him and shit. And he was like doing the staggered breathing, okay? Right? When he was upset. So he fell asleep like that. Like, right, okay. So he fell asleep, and when he woke up, he expressly stated, "What is that sound?" I said, "What does it sound like?" That's the like his soul left his body when I spanked him. So that is when I learned that if I should ever get physical with him, even if I don't get, sometimes I yell enough for that to happen. Right? So I learned that I have to help him get back in his body and get his breathing. Once his breathing is regulated again, he's fine. But if I let him fall asleep in that state, if I let him like go too long in that state, that's when he's being inhabited by demons. And this is actually what, this is so crazy that, oh my gosh, this wasn't the conversation, but this is parents, when you see that your child has reacted to some type of disciplinary action or some type of startling, and that's how they're breathing, like that staggered breathing, that stuff that we'd be joking about when our parents used to, you know, spank us and do stuff, that is actually where you're dissociating, and you are not within your soul is not there. So that's what I'm talking about when I recognize when he's asleep, when we have these dreams. Somebody tried to say it was because he was suppressed or something. No, we're traveling somewhere, and when wherever we go, and this isn't all the time. Okay, I have other dreams where, I'm winning, and he has dreams where he's winning, and our enemies will be defeated, and we will triumph, and we're having a deep spiritual awakening, and yada yada. We have plenty of dreams like that. He has dreams like that. If you've ever been on my phone, you see me screenshotting dream meanings. Sometimes those are Aaron's dreams. You know what I'm saying? And I talk to him. Sometimes they express how he feels about certain things, and that will call me to talk to him about his feelings and stuff like that and what he's experiencing. But um, if you recognize your child doing that staggering breathing, you want to get them and you want to help them to meditate and to focus on their breath and get their soul back in their body. Don't let them go to sleep like that. Shoot, this is like, oh gosh, it's so crazy because so much shit be real and they be trying to tell you it's fake, bro. This is Insidious. All right, that movie Insidious. It's I don't really even watch scary movies or movies like that. Okay, but I happened to watch Insidious, and remember Insidious, he hit his head, he had a traumatic event, and then his soul was being trapped. Damn, this fucking squirrel. Hold on, they don't. My aunt record them. 90% of the time they turn around and they run away when I pull out the camera. But we'll do it like this so maybe you can see it if you should show back up. Um, Insidious, the boy suffered a trauma, and he had astral projected because astral projection, sometimes dissociation, those are things that happen to protect the soul. Okay, like your soul detaches from your body. So in that movie, that soul got trapped while the demon was trying to enter his body. Okay, real life. This is real life. Okay, so if you recognize that your child is like doing that staggered breathing or any of that stuff, and you let them go to sleep, you're giving an opportunity for a 1717. You're giving them an entity, an opportunity to enter your child. Okay, and this is where a lot of this shit happened. Everything comes fucking full circle. You hear me? Because this is exactly what the fudge I was talking about the other day when I said everybody is inherently good. It is a result of uh, repeated and extended dissociation that causes people to become evil or to be inhabited by entities. This is exactly it. Okay? So, funny that would be the message today for everyone. Don't let your child go to sleep with staggered breathing. Don't let your child sit and think about it. No, you sit with them and you help them get their breathing regulated so that they can come back into their body. Okay? So, we don't have a lot of those problems now. But back in the day, we definitely did, and that was something I learned watching him. I didn't really know or see. I experienced it and I didn't even know what it was. It wasn't until I watched him experience it that I was like, sometimes it takes um, not being a part of the scenario and watching and observing someone else to really get it, right? So, yeah, there's that. And look, I pulled my camera out. He took off. He's like, I am not on display. I'm not here to be your little show animal, your circus animal. Either way, y'all can take a look outside. I don't know why. Maybe I'm unusual, but I really love bare trees. I love like the tree branches without foliage. I mean, I also love the foliage. I really miss summertime when I could go and stand in front of my window and nobody could see me because all the trees were full. But there's something beautiful about a barren tree. So, yeah, there's not much else to say this morning. Maybe perhaps I will say I really um, I have worked really hard, right? I said I've worked really hard to get over the man of the hour, and like I spent a whole 4 months not talking about him or anything like that. But it's like I never mind. Y'all have a good day.